Campfire Stories.
Welcome to the campfire.
Yeah, come sit with us and our friend Ojistaquio.
Seiko sewa guego. Hello, everybody. So today I'm going to share with you a very special story.
Oh.
This story is the oldest story of our nation, the Yungwanoshonido, the Haudenosaunee people, the creation story. Wahuni ze jinahe, a long time ago. This place that we call Yetinistaha or Huanja, our Mother Earth, was a very different place. It was completely covered in water. And so above the water, very high up, Anaga, on the other side of the clouds, and some people say on the other side of the stars, there was another place that we call Jitgarnohyade, the sky world. The sky world was very different from Earth. And in the sky world, they didn't have a sun. Instead, it had this great celestial tree. There was a woman, and her name was Yotjijizo, or mature flower. And this woman was married to Lalunda Nunha, the leader of the sky people. Together, they were getting ready to have their first baby. She was pregnant. And one day, out of nowhere, she got this intense hunger for something nobody had ever eaten there, the roots of the tree. And so Lalunda Nunha, her husband, grabbed the tree, and with great strength and power, he pulled. He pulled and he pulled and he pulled until finally, with a big bang, the tree toppled over. And Yojijizo went down to where the tree once stood, and she saw this big hole. She looked further and further and further, and just like that, she fell. And some of the roots came off in her hand, along with some seeds. She fell and she fell and she fell into this darkness. And she called out, "Dagyat dagenha, dagyat dagenha. Help, help, somebody help me." And as she called it out, here on the earth, on the waterland, the animals heard her call. And as she came down, they made a plan quickly to send Gahunk, the geese, to go and greet her and break her fall. The Gahunk, they went up and they flew and they said, "Gahunk, Gahunk," and they grabbed her right from underneath. And as she laid on their back, they came further and further down. But they quickly realized that she was too heavy for them. And so they also started to call out, "Dagyat dagenha, dagyat dagenha, gahunk, dagyat dagenha." And as they called for help, it was the Lanyet Dongoa, the great turtle, who had heard their call. The great turtle came from the deep depths of the ocean, and he surfaced and he said, "You can place her on my back." But see, Yojijizo was still hungry, and all she had was the roots and a few seeds. And so she called out once more, "Dagyat dagenha, dagyat dagenha, help, can anyone help me?" Who had heard the call and answered were three water animals. The first was the beaver, Jinido. The second was the otter, Dawine. And the third was a little muskrat, Anyogo. And so they all gathered together and they said, "We will help you, Yojijizo." And so one by one, the animals dove deep into the waters. So the little muskrat carried the clay up to the surface and he gave it to Yojijizo. And she took it and she placed it on the back of the turtle. And she placed a few seeds right at the same spot. And she sang the most beautiful song that she had brought with her from the sky world. And she used her feet to dance women shuffle to spread the earth and the seeds on the back of the turtle. Yo, yo, we ne we haya. Yo, we ne we haya. Yo, we ne we haya. We haya, guy, now we are here. Yo. So as she sang this song and danced the women's shuffle, she spread the clay And it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it became what we now know as Turtle Island.
Whoa.
Yes, Turtle Island is the name we have for this land.
Yeah, wait, so we're on Turtle Island right now?
Yes, this is the place where our people originate from, Turtle Island.
Wow. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing that story.
You're welcome.
Turtle
Yawa for
Island.
having me. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.